What's up guys, 1:49 Monday morning here at the shop. DTF printer number 1 is up and going. It's been going since like 8:30 this morning. Got into the shop, started running all of the orders that came in over the weekend. But in this video, I kind of wanted to do something different and show you guys the exact process that we use to take a file from, say, a customer. So a customer places an order with us on our website, how we would take that file and ultimately get it to a finished DTF transfer. So I want to show you guys everything that we go through to get the file ripped in what the rip we use, which is Digital Factory. So I'm going to show you guys everything that we do, the settings that we go through, and how we set each of the files up to print perfectly. So let's go ahead and get started in that. Right now I'm going to head over to the computer, so let's switch over to the screen capture. Okay, so we are here in Digital Factory. This is going to be CAD Link Digital Factory. So if we wanted to purchase something like this, we could go to their website, cadlink.com, or you could just Google CAD-Link Digital Factory 10 and you can go ahead and make your purchase for this. They offer a free trial. I think it's a 14-day free trial, and they even offer really good support. So if you guys need anything is not working out quite well with your implementation, your printer, whatever, you can go ahead and reach direct out to their support. It's really helpful, and I had to reach out to them a couple of times. All right, so yeah, I didn't even know this, but it looks like they are already on version 11. Digital Factory Direct-to-Film Edition. This is a pretty penny, starts at $945, and this is for ones that print 24 inches or wider. They do have smaller ones for cheaper prices, but obviously, as you guys know, I have a 24-inch Audley DTF printer, so we will be using that version of the software today. So I have the software all loaded up on my computer. This is going to be the interface that you guys will be working in and seeing a lot of if you guys do end up purchasing this. So, okay, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Let's say a customer just placed an order and I need to get their design loaded into the system so that we can get it printed. So first you would click the open button right up here. And now for just demonstration purposes, I'll go ahead and just pick a WW transfer design. What's a good one? We'll just go with this Christmas design. And now what just popped up is the image resolution dialog. So it's saying, due to low resolution, we recommend using the supersize image to improve output quality. And this is something that Digital Factory offers built in directly to the software. So if you do have a low resolution file, you can use their supersize image feature to go ahead and try and add some of that texture and resolution back into the image. It works okay. It's obviously not going to be a great replacement for just having quality artwork to begin with, high DPI artwork, but if you do need it in a pinch, it's there for you. However, we're not going to need it today, so I'm just going to go ahead and press OK. And now it has gone ahead and loaded the design onto the film. So this right panel here is actually the preview window for the film, and at the size that it loaded it in, Digital Factory thinks it should be printed at 35 inches wide, which obviously, as you can see, does exceed the width of the film. The width of the film that we have set up here is 22 inches wide, so all of this red area would be cut off and not printed. Digital Factory does do a good job of showing you that, so just make sure you guys are paying attention as best as you can so that something like that doesn't happen to you. But okay, so for this design, we print this at 14 inches wide, so I can go ahead and resize it down here using the dialog. Click 14 and it'll automatically resize it for me. And now, for example, let's say I needed to go ahead and print a few of these. I can do that really easily using the copies button right here. And for those of you who are still using MainTop, the rip that does come directly with the printer from Audley, this is going to be a huge improvement. Rather than having to physically arrange each of the designs in Photoshop, now you can just simply enter the number of designs that you need down here, and Digital Factory will take care of everything from there. So say we need 4 designs, and now 4 copies quickly and easily pops up. The next thing that we have to do is check the actual stroke choke settings on the print. So with the default print method that we have set up, we use 10 points of a choke, and we dial it back for any of designs that require it. However, this design doesn't have any fine detail. It's all basically these Coke cans and they're solid objects. So we don't need to do anything adjustments to the choke settings on this. However, let's go ahead and bring in a design that we would, just so I can kind of give you guys a little bit of a demonstration on what that would look like for you. So here's a good design, and I actually will go ahead and pull this up so that we can take a look at it a little closer. Okay, so I got it pulled up here, and something like this, all of these fine dots, if we were to set the choke settings to 10, some of these really small dots would not be filled in with any white layer because we have that choke setting set so high. So for something like this, since we do obviously want to make sure that each little dot gets some sort of white underbase for proper adhesion, what we want to do is go ahead and adjust that. So with our design already loaded in here, we can go ahead and just change the sizing real quick, 10 inches wide. And now to actually go ahead and make that choke adjustment setting, we're going to go ahead and just double click the artwork file on the left panel here. So doing that brings up the ticket properties, and while we're in here I want to go through a couple other things on top of adjusting the choke settings. First and foremost is going to be the print labels option. This is a great option for those of you who, when you're saving your files, you actually save them as the order number or the customer name or something like that. It's a great way for you guys to easily keep track of which design is which, who goes to who, just so that you're not having to, at the end of the day, scramble to get all of the orders sorted and packaged. So all you have to do is click Enable Print Labels, and then depending on how you do name your files, if you did the print job name and you named your file like Order 44, it would print Order 44 on top of it so that you would know, okay, this design goes with Order 44. Just make things really easy for you. But anyways, moving on to that choke setting, like I was saying, if we open up the color layer properties panel and then dive into the processing options, this is where we can see choke the prime, stop white prime peeking out. And I have it set to 10 on this specific print mode. However, for a design like this, since we do have that fine detail, we're going to scale it all the way back down to 2, which is what Digital Factory says is the minimum for that. And now we can just select OK. And now you can see the artwork adjusted. The artwork adjusted actually because it's now going to be printing the name right here. So the name of this file is Halloween Town PNG. So it's going to be printing that name up at the top there, right above the design, making things really easy for us. So that is how you adjust the choke settings on that. And now, like I said, again, let's go ahead and change this back to 12 just for demonstrations purposes. For what you see here, since we do have this design at 14 inches wide, and when we set the copies that we need to 4, it didn't end up putting any next to it. That's because it physically can't fit them. However, on this one, if we went ahead and made it 10 inches wide so that we could now fit an extra design on the side here, if we just increase the number of columns in copy group button right here in the dialog to 2, now we can get 2 side by side, 4 designs in total. And again, all you have to do is you can just put however many you need. So say we need 40. Enter in 40. Now we have 40 copies. Super easy, super effective, and just a great way if you guys are using MainTop to do all of your ripping. Digital Factory makes things incredibly easy. So let's just go ahead and move that back to 4 for the purposes of this video. And now, say I have my file all ready to go. I just need these 2 designs to get printed. What would normally happen if we were to just go ahead and click the print button is each of these 2 designs would be printed as 2 separate files. Now, that can have its advantages, it can have its disadvantages, however you guys set up your system. But for us, what we really like to do is just to have one big file that we can just send to the printer and not have to worry about it. So to do that, we can go to the Page button right here and select Nest All. Now what that's going to do is take what you see here as 2 separate files and combine them into one. Now what this does do is tries to arrange it in what Digital Factory thinks is the most efficient manner to print. So it is going to change how your designs are actually laid out. It will not keep the orientation that you have them in now. That's just something that you have to keep it in mind when you're doing Nest All. So let's go ahead and click Nest All. Apply automatic nesting. It's basically going to be warning me about what I just told you, how the layout will be lost. Let's go ahead and click yes. And now you can see things have transformed into now just one big file that we can go ahead and get ripped and sent to the printer. Now to do what I just said, you just go ahead and select all of the jobs that you have in the queue and then come up here to the rainbow printer print job, and it's going to go ahead and start spooling up the actual ripping file. So that now, after it's done spooling, we can choose a location to save it on our computer and then get that saved and ripped. Another option that you guys can do with Digital Factory that unfortunately I don't have set up for you in this video is direct printing from Digital Factory. So if you guys are interested, you can rip your file directly in Digital Factory, and then rather than saving it to a computer like what you're about to see me do, you can basically on the fly print it from the DTF printer. There's no need to like have the space saved for it. It's going to be transferring what it needs, the data that it needs, over the wire on the fly. So that can be a pretty effective solution for you too. But for what it's worth, I had a little bit of trouble getting that set up. But if you do call Digital Factory, they'll be more than willing to help you get everything straightened out and set up. Their support has been very helpful from my experience. So now, like I said, it's just going to ask us to save it somewhere, so we can go ahead and save. And now it's going to actually print that out, start creating a file that we can send to the HansoSoft, which is the software that we use to run all of our DTF prints. So again, just for demonstration purposes, I'll go ahead and bring in a random file. This is going to be the PRN file that Digital Factory is working on creating for me right now. So what you need to actually send to your DTF printer is a PRN file. You can't just like send a PNG image or anything like that. So hopefully this video was helpful in showing you guys how you can actually take, for what it's worth, like a PNG image, bring that into Digital Factory, and finally get something that you can send to HansoSoft, your DTF printer, and get everything all sorted out.